Hello and welcome back, my creepy cupcakes. I hope you're enjoying your October so far. Today I'm doing this creepy cupcake look in honor of my cupcakes. Done, let's get into the video. I've already applied my bald cap, and then with a fluffy brush and blue body paint, I'm just applying a blue body paint as a base coat. I've also glued down my eyebrows and I'm putting some cream paint on top of them. This keeps the glue from shining through the body paint. I found a really cool reference image on Pinterest of like a zombie cupcake, and so that's kind of what I'm looking at, and then I'm also just making it up as I go. With another fluffy brush and a lavender body paint, I'm going to be painting just the bottom half of my face, that lavender color. I wanted to create a gradient color effect with these. I thought that would make it look a lot more fun. And then with a turquoise body paint, I'm going to be painting the paper, the crinkled paper that the cupcake is sitting in. That's what I'm emulating on top. So with turquoise body paint, I'm just going to be filling in that whole upper area. With a little fluffy brush, I'm going in with white body paint and I'm applying that in between the turquoise and the dark blue so that I can have a very nice gradient and work up to that. I'm also dipping my brush into that turquoise color and mixing it in with that white, and then going back in with a little bit of white just to make sure those are really nice and blended together. Once that's all good and blended, I'm going to take a small little shader brush and black eyeshadow and start carving out this skull. With another eyeshadow brush and black eyeshadow, just a little bit on the shader brush, I'm just going around each of the sockets because I want to start creating some type of dimension and darkness in each of the sockets before trying to go in and add any more color to them. I'm going to start highlighting the areas around the skull. I'm using a white cream paint, and after I get all of that situated where I want it, I'm going to go on top of it with a white eyeshadow. This is going to set the cream paint and keep it from moving or keep it from getting extremely greasy, and I'll be doing that all over the skull. I'm going over some of the areas where I laid down the white cream paint but I didn't set it. I'm going on top of that with this neon purple Makeup a Murder pigment, and I'm going to be going all over my skull face with this. I'm moving on to the pink neon pigment, and I'm being pretty random about this, just kind of keeping it on my cheeks and then on the side of the skull and on my forehead. Moving on to the nose, I'm patting it with a white cream paint to get that all nice and saturated, and then with a blue neon pigment, I'm going to go ahead and start pressing that into the white cream paint. With white cream paint, I'm going to start drawing the upper teeth, and I'm not going to be setting this because I'm going to be laying the pigment on top, so you want to make sure that you have a nice tacky base for them to stick to. I made sure to fill all of those in and made sure that they're very nice and saturated with that cream paint. I'm going on top of it with a yellow neon pigment first, just filling in the lower half of the tooth, and then I'm going on top of that with the green neon pigment and just filling the upper half of the tooth. With black body paint, I'm going to start outlining each of the teeth. It's going to give a very nice comic book-like effect, which is definitely something I'm going for here. Very comic booky, neon, zombie cupcake thing. With black eyeshadow and a small shader brush, I'm going to go around the nose. I like to do this with eyeshadow and not body paint to keep the edges nice and soft, and I'm going to be blending that out to make a nice gradient and give it dimension. With black body paint, I'm going to start drawing some fine line cracks throughout the skull. This skull has been through some stuff, you know, it's a zombie skull, so, you know, it's seen the things. I'm also adding some indentions coming up from the teeth. This is going to give it an even more realistic look. With a big fluffy brush and black eyeshadow, I'm going to start going around the sides of that skull. This is just going to give the appearance that the sides of the skull are a little bit further back. I'm painting the top of the bald cap this lime green color, getting everything all nice and saturated with this color before we move on to the headpiece. With black body paint, I'm going to go ahead and go over each of those little triangles all around the top of the skull to start accentuating that like crinkled paper. Once I get that all outlined, I'm going to start adding some lines from the corner of each of those down to give that crinkle effect. This is my cupcake topper I made out of Model Magic. I didn't create a video for it, but I just made it out of Model Magic, so have fun with that. A portion of this part did get cut out, so all I did was mix up a little bit of gelatin, some of that neon pigment, water, and glycerin, and just applied it to the top of the cap and let it go ahead and fall down. I'm going to start situating that headpiece on top. Didn't really have to glue it. The gelatin still was a little bit wet, so it just kind of clung to that. I'm using the back of a brush to make that dripping effect and just letting that drip down. This does end up being pretty hot, so I allow it to kind of cool down just a little bit so it's not going to burn me and just drip away. I didn't film myself painting my hand because that was going to be a little bit too difficult trying to rearrange my camera stuff, but this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a great October. If you liked the video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!